Ladies and gentlemen, good day and welcome to the India Pesticides Limited Q2 FY 2022 results conference call hosted by Dolat Capital. As a reminder, all participant lines will be in the listen-only mode, and there will be an opportunity for you to ask questions after the presentation concludes. Should you need assistance during the conference call, please signal an operator by pressing star then zero on your touchtone phone. Please note that this conference is being recorded. I now hand the conference over to Mr. Archit Joshi of Dolat Capital. Thank you, and over to you, sir.
Thanks, Vivian. Good evening and season's greetings to one and all who have participated in the call. On behalf of Dolat Capital, I would like to welcome all participants on India Pesticides Limited 2Q FY22 earnings conference call. We would like to thank the management for giving us the opportunity to host this call. We have with us today the Chairman of India Pesticides, Mr. Anand Swarup Agarwal, the CEO, Mr. D.K. Jain, and the CFO, Mr. S.V. Gupta. I would like to read out a disclaimer of the safe harbor statement before starting the call on behalf of the management. During the call, we can make forward-looking statements considering the environment which we are in today, and obviously carry a risk in terms of uncertainty, because of which the actual results could be different. We do not undertake to update the statements periodically. Without any further ado, I would like to hand over the floor to Mr. Anand Swarup Agarwal ji, the Chairman of IPL, for his opening remarks, post which we will also have a round of opening remarks from the CEO and the CFO, and then we can have the floor open for a Q&A round. Over to you, sir. Thanks a lot.
Okay. Thank you, Archit. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you and your family are staying safe and healthy. I take the pleasure of welcoming you all for the Q2 FY22 earnings conference call of India Pesticides. I hope you all have the chance to look at the financial statements and earnings presentation uploaded on the exchange on our website. During the quarter, our margins continued to remain strong on back of our distinct product offerings. We acquire new customers across the globe, supported by our strategy of continuously working towards expanding product portfolio on ongoing basis to ensure significant business growth. We are consistently developing and testing new chemicals and developing manufacturing processes in line with those chemicals to deliver products efficiently, with maximum safety of our workers and environment. During the first half of the fiscal, we introduced 2 new technical grade products. Responses to our new launches have been encouraging and expect it to gain further momentum going forward. 6 new products are on track to be launched across categories, which is expected to contribute meaningfully from next fiscal year. We are consistently working towards expanding production capabilities. The progress of ongoing expansion project is in line with our expectation. Enhanced capacity coupled with new product launches will drive profitable growth for us in the coming future. Along this process, we are committed to ensure constant effort to maintain excellent employee welfare and high level of business ethics in quality and services to customer centricity. Now, thank you very much, and now I will hand over the further presentation to Mr. D.K. Jain, our CEO.
Thank you, sir. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I thank you for taking out time to join this earnings call for Q2 FY22. Greetings for the festive season. During the quarter, our operations were in line with our expectations. However, the business witnessed strong headwinds because of the global container shortage, which has led to substantial increase in freight costs. As most of our export sales are on FOB basis, this impact of the freight rise is being felt by our customers, which in turn led to delayed shipments from them during the quarter. We have already started getting fresh delivery schedules now from them, and as we speak, the dispatches are taking place. We expect the situation to ease going forward. Our capacity expansion at our Sandila unit is very much in line with our expectations and are progressing well. And as Anandji said, we are very optimistic on the remaining 6 molecules which are about to launch soon. We are receiving strong traction from the customers for these molecules. We remain committed and place strong reliance on our R&D team. During the quarter, we have increased the team size by hiring some more senior members. We are happy to state that the registration of the land for our wholly owned subsidiary at Hamirpur near Kanpur has been completed recently, and we are going to apply for the environmental clearance very soon in near future. With this, I would like to pass on to Mr. S.P. Gupta to walk us through our Q2 financial highlights. Thank you.
Thank you, P.K. Jainji. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and thank you for joining the India Pesticides conference call to discuss Q2 financial year 22 results. India Pesticides margin and return ratio continue to remain strong with our efficient utilization and higher yield ratio due to efforts of our R&D. Taking you through the financial highlights, the total revenue stood at 356 crore, as against 337 crore in H1 financial year 21. That is YOY growth of 5.7% and 182 crore in Q2 financial year 22 as compared to 220 crore in Q2 financial year 21. There is a decline of 17%. Decline in quarterly sales was due to deferment of shipment from one of our customers and container shortage. This decline was has resulted in decline in technical sales, and our export revenue was also impacted. EBITDA in H1 financial year 22 stands at 118 crore as compared to 103 crore in H1 financial year 21, with growth of 14.7% on YOY basis, and 59 crore in Q2 financial year 22. EBITDA margins have increased to 33% in H1 financial year 22 as compared to 30.5% in H1 financial year 21. The PAT stood at
Excuse me, sir, we are not able to hear you right now. Participants, please be online. We'll just...
As compared to 48 crore in Q2 financial year 21. PAT margin has also increased to 23.6% in H1 financial year 22 as compared to 21.5% in H1 financial year 21. The revenue from export stood at 139 crore as compared to 219 crore in H1 financial year 21. And domestic revenue has increased to 205 crore as compared to 110 crore in H1 financial year 21. Revenue from technicals and formulation stood at 236 crore and 108 crore respectively during H1 financial year 22. Our diversified product offering and ability to develop client-specific molecules quickly and efficiently benefits us in targeting and servicing diverse and niche range of demand internationally as well as domestically. During H1, we invested 28 crore in capex for expansion of our Sandila plant. Further, we will invest 42 crore in capex in Sandila plant in second half of current financial year. We remain confident of continuing our growth trajectory while extending full support to our customers, suppliers, and other valued stakeholders. I would now like Mr. Archit Joshi to open the line for Q&A session. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Vivian, you can open the floor for Q&A. Thanks.
Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, we will now begin the question and answer session. Participants who wish to ask a question may kindly press *1 on your touch-tone telephone. If you wish to remove yourself from the question queue, you may press star and 2. Participants are requested to use handsets while asking a question. Ladies and gentlemen, we will wait for a moment while the question queue assembles. Kindly press star 1 to ask a question. The first question is from the line of Mr. Senthil Kumar from Joinder Capital Services Limited. Kindly proceed.
Hi, sir. Good evening. Thanks for the opportunity. Is it audible, sir? Hello?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
My first query on significant increase in the net working capital cycle in the first half of FY 22 against of full year FY 21. So could you please explain the reason behind that? And my second question on the recently launched products, what is the growth prospects and what is the market size for the products, sir? How many products the management plans to launch in the next second half of FY 22?
Hello.
Sir, yes, sir. Hello.
Excuse me. Yes, sir. Are you able to hear us?
Yeah. Sir, do you want me to repeat my questions? Hello. Hello.
Mr. Chairman, are you able to hear us?
I think we don't have.
Kindly just be online while we reconnect the management line.
Okay. I will.
Excuse me, participants. We have the line for the management reconnected. Mr. Senthil Kumar, could you please repeat your question, sir?
Yeah, sure. Hello, sir. It's audible now?
Yeah.
Yeah. My first query on net working capital cycle, sir. Actually, it was significantly increased in first half of FY22 against of full year FY21. Could you please give the reason for that? And what could be the trend of inventory, receivables, and net working capital cycle for the full year, sir? What can we expect for the full year, sir? This is my first question. And my second question on the new product launches, sir. Two products what our management launched in the Q2 FY22. What is the market size for the product, and what kind of revenue we can expect from the two products, sir?
Our receivables, which were 140 days in financial year 20, it has declined to 120 days in financial year 21.
Hello? Hello?
Excuse me, the management, are you able to hear us?
Our net working capital has declined to 130 days from 132 days in financial year 21. So there is a slight decline of 2 days. No doubt our inventory level has slightly gone up, but in March the inventory level was slightly low because of excellent sale in March. So it has been normalized now. As regard your second question, we have launched two molecules. One molecule has a very good market size in India, and we are expecting sales of at least 80 to 100 crore in next financial year. Second molecule, it is not so big, but we are expecting a sales of around 30 to 35 crore in next year. In working capital, we also want to highlight that a significant portion of our receivables, they are backed by LC of prime banks. But since we do not need funds, we are not discounting them. If we discount our receivables, then our working capital cycle can further reduce by at least 20 to 25 days. It will come down to around 100 days.
So what can we expect for the full year, sir, FY22? Hello? 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 Hello?
Excuse me, the management line, are you able to hear us, sir? Participants, please be online. Mr. Kumar, kindly be online.
Okay.
We have the management line connected. Please proceed, sir.
Hello. Hello, is it audible, sir?
Yeah, आवाज आ रही सर आ रही.
Yeah, sir, I got a answer for my second question, but still I'm not clear with the first question. You said like for the full year of FY21, the working capital cycle is 170 days, which is reduced to 130 days in first half of FY22. Am I right, sir?
It was 132 days in financial year 21. It has reduced to 130 days in first half of current year because
Okay.
receivable days has also gone up.
Okay, what is the working capital cycle for the full year, sir, FY22? What can we expect for the full year, sir?
It will reduce further. Net working capital days will decline at least by 15 to 20 days.
Okay. So in that case, it will be around of 110 days. Am I right, sir, for the full year of FY22?
Right.
Okay. And my last question is, so what number of new molecules the management plans to launch in the second half of FY22, sir? And what will be the market size for the same?
In second half, we are planning to launch 4 new molecules. They will also include some intermediates. And
Okay.
In next financial year, we will be launching 2 more molecules.
Okay.
Market size is quite big, but very difficult to quantify at this moment.
Okay, sir, I understand that. Sir. That is what I say. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. We have the next question from the line of Mr. Rohan Gupta from Edelweiss. Kindly proceed.
Yeah. Hi, sir. Good evening. Sir, first question is on our dependency on imports of raw materials from China. We see that there is a disruption in China going on, and in that scenario, are we facing any raw material challenges, and how much dependency we have as far as the raw material concerned from China, sir?
Our dependency China is not very much. It is around 20% of our entire purchase. So most of the other products, they are backward integrated. So majority of the raw material we are sourcing from India only.
Okay. Sir, I understand that there has been significant increase in chemical prices, even though we are sourcing it from India. Prices have gone up across, and given the weak season in India so far in the first half, there has been lower acceptability from the formulation company and end product. So there should have been some margin pressure. Are you also seeing any margin pressure, because ultimately it's not getting reflected in our numbers?
Yeah, there has been definitely some increase in raw material prices, but the increase has been within the range of 8 to 10% of only. And if you look at against selling price, it will be around 5% only. And you can group the price increase in 2 groups. The customer with whom company has long-term agreement, and for others other than this long-term agreement. For customers other than long-term agreement, passing of price has been very smooth, since every customer understands this is a global phenomenon. For supply under the agreement, generally we have a clause that if there is a change in the raw material pricing, we can renegotiate, and normally we do it every quarter or every half year, depending upon the clause. Generally, we work out the new price, and it got implemented with a time lag of 1 quarter only.
While with the long-term customers, you mentioned that it takes some time to pass it on.
Only generally 1 quarter.
Okay. So, sir, with our long-term customers, you mentioned that we have 6 monthly pricing arrangement, or how frequently it is revised?
Yes, for some customer it is quarterly, and for some customer it is half yearly. But Since it is an unprecedented situation, we have written to our customers, and they are very favorably looking to our concern.
Okay. And we have seen, sir, that the domestic market in formulations and whatever the agrochemical companies have declared their results so far, there has been a weak growth for them. And do you see that the fall in revenues for the current quarter which we had is also because of the poor demand in the domestic market? Because you mentioned that the decline in revenues in the current quarter is mainly because of the export market and the challenges in logistics. You didn't mention anything about the domestic market, while about 60% revenues come from domestic market. So how has been the demand from the domestic market in the current scenario, sir?
You see, out of this domestic market sales, our formulation business is only around 30% of our sales. No doubt, we have projected is very strong growth, but as per our projection, there is a decline of 6 to 7% of less sales during the first half of our this financial year 22. Our B2B sales in the country, it has been increasing. We are not seeing any problem. Actually, one of our large customer who was earlier buying for its European facility, the customer is buying now at its India facility, and demand has been very robust for our B2B business. For our formulation business, because of some erratic rain and less pest infestation, there is 6 to 7% degrowth what we have projected.
So you are saying that all the degrowth in the revenues in first half, roughly 17%, is because of the formulation business, while our B2B business sale has grown up, right?
Right, yes.
Okay. Sir, if you can just give some indication, in export market, what is the share of our formulation or technical? I believe in export, everything is technical, right?
Export market, we will be exporting around 2 to 3% of our entire 2 to 3% of our turnover of formulation business is being exported. Formulation business is mainly domestic driven.
Right, sir. Sir, I'll take this opportunity to ask further question. Sir, we are commissioning our new capacities by almost 9,000 tons, and by 9,000 tons over next 1.5 years to 2 years, right? In next 2 years, with the 70 crore rupees capex. So if you can share some details about this, that in at this plant, what are the products we are planning to make, and at what stage it is right now in terms of commissioning of the capacities, and are we getting new customers inquiries for these products, and to whom we are going to sell?
For this, sir, actually, we had planned 8 molecules to be implemented during this year and the next year, and 2 of them have already been launched, as stated by Anandji and Mr. S.P. Gupta, and 6 more molecules which comprise of few herbicides and intermediates. They are under various stages of implementation, and we hope to complete 4 of them by this year end, that is financial year end, and 2 more will be commissioned by May, June, July, like that, sir. And there is very good demand for these products. We are getting continuous feedback from our customers that when we can give them at the earliest, and there is very good traction, and all of the products are in demand, and we already have tied up part of the supplies to the customers, so there is no problem at all in the supplies of these products, and the demand will go up, absolutely, sir.
That's great, sir. Sir, you mentioned that in a B2B business, you have one of your large customers who were earlier buying the silver from Europe have now started buying from you and have started procuring it from you domestically. Sir, do you see more such incidences or more such developments happening where companies or customers are preferring local sourcing and reducing the dependency on Europe or China supply?
No, sir. Actually, what they are doing, they have a formulation facility in Europe, but they want to, their demand is most they are buying now in India, formulating in India. So actually it is for us, it is more or less like an export only, but instead they are buying locally, so it is going in their account as export. But the overall volume is increasing.
Oh, that's great, sir. So
Mr. Gupta, I'm sorry to interrupt, sir. This is the operator. We do have a few questions in queue. Would you mind getting back into the question queue, sir?
No problem. Thank you.
Thank you. We have the next question from the line of Mr. Deepak Poddar from Sapphire Capital. Kindly proceed. Mr. Deepak Poddar from Sapphire.
Hello.
Yes, sir. We can hear you.
Thank you very much for the opportunity, sir. Sir, firstly, I just wanted to understand the margins front. This 32% is what we have been telling about the sustainable margin. So has there been any change on account of the recent issues or the availability of raw material?
Actually, we are making our technical product from basic stages, and our molecules are niche, so we have earnings superior than industry profit. And we in future also the molecules which we are making, they have good earning visibility. So we are quite hopeful that we will continue to enjoy around 30% EBITDA margin in future also.
Okay, understood. And in terms of revenue growth, CAGR, like next 2 to 3 years, we have been talking about 25-30%. Even as high as 35% we have done in last 2-3 years. So how do we see that over next 3 years, the CAGR?
In last 3 years, good capacity expansion. In future, we will be growing at the rate of around 20% CAGR only.
20% CAGR. 20, right?
20. In the next 2 years.
Okay. I think that's from us. Thank you.
Thank you. Participants, if you wish to ask a question, kindly press star 1. Participants, if you wish to ask a question, request you to kindly press star 1 now. To ask a question, kindly press star 1. As there are no further questions, I hand the conference over to the management for closing comments.
Thank you very much for the time, sir, and it was nice.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thanks a lot for
Thank you.
Sir. We are happy to host you, sir. Thank you. Have a good day and happy Diwali.
Thank you. Happy Diwali to you all.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of Dolat Capital, that concludes this conference. Thank you for joining us, and you may now disconnect your lines.